Welcome to our channel, Typebook. We are Chris and Rose, INTJ and INFJ, and we are cataloging a variety of people based on their Jungian psychological types and their MBTI four-letter abbreviations. Please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and engage with us in the comment sections so we can get the word out about the work we are doing here.
Okay, Gordon Ramsay. 3, 2, 1, go.
So nice to see you. Welcome. How are we? That sounded pathetic. I've been 13 and a half hours on a plane to come and see you guys. You're the reason I'm here. Good afternoon.
Okay, stop.
That's why I'm here to come.
There's something about these guys. I guess I could point to the elephant in the room in this really, energetic and sometimes over-the-top way. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
And instantly I was comparing them to the ENFJ because ENFJ immediately starts engaging the audience. But what a different feel between the two. Because the ENFJ is all about making everyone feel welcome and, oh, what do you think? Oh, yes, the audience thinks this. They're trying to create this bond with the audience.
Get more from them, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. They're using the same functions to get the job done. For the ENFJ, FE's first, SE's third. And it's reversed for the ESTP. SE's first, FE's third.
Yes, exactly. The opposite.
Right. So he's already started out by, come on, you should cheer more for me than that. It's almost like a sarcastic, I guess trying to win people over in with humor rather than warmth.
How do you describe that? It's kind of like teasing. They all do this, almost all of them anyway. They're always like those guys that like poking, saying, "Oh, come on, that deserved more.
Right?
Where's my credit?" All right, let's go.
Yeah, look at me, I'm so clever. You need to show me some more respect.
It's like unashamed, shameless
self-promotion.
Yeah. But they do it so bluntly and so shamelessly that people think that it's okay. I don't know. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Come and talk to you. Do you know why? A, I heard you guys kept it real. B, there's not one spoiled individual in this room. And we share something very similar, right? We're all dying to do well in life. Even you, Paul.
Even me. Definitely, definitely.
Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you. That's exactly the welcome we needed, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you very much. Now, Gordon, you have an amazing career. You've done pretty much everything, but you've come from humble beginnings. And we need to know, could you provide us a glimpse of your early years and your early aspirations?
Certainly. Humble, tough, shitty, awkward. I was embarrassed. I had a
stop.
Tiny little house.
There's something about their energy as well, especially Gordon Ramsay. He's almost got a rhythmic energy. I did this, and then I did this, and then I did that. It's almost like he's jumping in his seat all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And in this way, I see more of a similarity between ESTP and a certain manifestation of an ENTP.
Okay.
Kind of like a Corey Taylor, sort of, has that not nervous energy, but that energy. It's very similar.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
House. I grew up in Stratford-upon-Avon. Everyone thinks that's a very posh place to grow up. It's not. It's a council estate. I don't know what the equivalent is here. It's funded by the government. 6 of us in a tiny house. I shared a bedroom about, I'd say, from here all the way down here. There's a bunk bed with my little brother. I used to go on the top. He used to go on the bottom. He used to detach it, lift it up, and put me on the floor. And then sort of witnessing mum and dad's shitty divorce. I wanted to get
stop
out.
a second.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Okay.
Interesting. He's not just explaining the bedroom. He has to go over and show you exactly how big it is so you can visualize it for yourself. Extroverted sensing.
To make his point, and
Yeah,
to say
to
like,
make his point.
I was poor. You need to know this. You need to know how big this bedroom was. Yeah, I've done this before.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I've
Well,
done this.
if you're SI and you think people think like you, if you just say how big the bedroom is, you assume they can envision it in their minds for themselves. But he's not. He's going at it from his own perspective.
Yeah,
He's
or they
gonna
would say, "Oh, it's 6.5 feet
right,
by," right?
right, exactly.
Yep. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. Let us know what you think about Gordon Ramsay. Do you have different observations? We'd love to hear what other perspectives think, from different types and things.
Yeah. Do you get along with ESTPs? Yes
Yeah,
and
like
no. Why?
what is interesting as well? What do you find interesting? Certain types definitely flock together, and we would love to know, like, why that is, other than from our own perspectives, our own observations. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Focus. At the time, I thought I was going to be a footballer, and I was, keen, determined, but just desperate to get out of the house because the situation was a little bit sad. So I ploughed into this amazing football career, and then at the age of 18, got taken out with a horrific injury. I tore my cruciate ligament, smashed my cartilage, naturally left-footed, and then got released from the club. What did I do? I was on my ass. I was down, I was upset and angry. So I decided I'm going to cook. Because if I cook for a living, I can travel the world to get away from the hurt that was, every day in front of me based on the upset of not wanting to do what I was setting out to do. So couldn't afford a full-time course. Enrolled in a part-time college course, going to college 1 day a week, and then having 6 days a week at work. And then my dream was to get to London. And at 19, I went down to London, got a job as a second commie chef, grade 2. I don't know what that meant, grade 2. And it was the banqueting hall, cooking 500-600 guests every night. And then from there, I started getting that bug about cooking for a different set of sort of standards and getting into a restaurant to get out the banquet. But I had to spend time in the banqueting suite to get up to the restaurant. And then that's where it all kicked off. That's when I realized, look, if I'm going to be a chef, I can travel the world and get away from the hurt.
Stop.
And I can come back.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the interviewer. Is he not some high FE guy?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean, ESFJ or something. I
Yeah,
mean, his
I'd
whole,
go
yeah,
ESFJ.
that's what I'm thinking right away.
He's
Because
like,
his
I
face,
love this Ramsay.
yeah, he literally is nodding his head every 3 seconds and just everything is on his face, his reactions. It's just, I have to stop watching him and watch Gordon Ramsay. He's getting into his chefing experiences, right? And I think we all know that he's known for being very
Angry.
temperamental.
Yes. I just think SE, like Gordon's is so SE, like even more, like in a cliche way than most ESTPs. He is bouncing around the kitchen. I mean, he literally does bounce around. Like he almost like bends in the knees when he's going around. Like, come on guys, let's go. Yeah, let's get the potatoes in. Yeah.
Yeah, you can almost imagine like the stereotypical ESTP in the gym, right? Come on, lift some more. You can just imagine
it's
it.
almost like
Yeah,
the kitchen's the gym, like in that,
right.
Stereotype gym rat kind of way. Like, come on, bro, get the potatoes in there.
Yeah, and I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent on this, but we've talked about this in other videos, but chefing is like a high SE kind of profession.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, it's literally like adapting in the moment, a high pressure environment, number
Now,
one.
like, it doesn't need to be, but this is the thing, right? we'll have to put word like a name to this eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is certain types gravitate to something for X reason, and then they almost like take it over. So chefing is a very SE thing. It doesn't have to be an SE thing, really. But there's like a SE bias there. So there's a ton, and I mean like a ton, of ESTPs,
Well,
ISFPs.
we're typing Gordon Ramsay right now. We also have Marco Pierre White, who's an ENTJ, also SE.
Who actually taught this guy.
Right.
So yeah, he was one of his mentors. The only guy that made him cry, apparently.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he worked at Harvey's, I think, which was the first Michelin star restaurant in the UK, which is owned by Marco Pierre White.
Well, we'll get around to typing more chefs eventually. I can think of one. I'm not going to say him right now, but we've looked at as well. But yeah, we'll get around to it, typing them and see if our hypothesis proves correct, right?
And get away from the hurt, and I can come back to the fold a few years later, which I did do, because I went to France. I became French. I fell in love with France, and I lost myself. I was struggling to speak English on the phone to my mum every other Sunday. We didn't have iPhones, or we just didn't exist. And then I lied to my boss because I took a little job in a cafe on my day off to help pay for the lodgings. So, sometimes you have to do that to, I suppose, to focus. But then I was on my own in an amazing country, couldn't speak the language, became fluent in 6 months, got my first big promotion from a sort of commie to a line cook to a chef de partie. And then literally anyone asked me in that kitchen in French, they wanted to know which area in France was I from. I became that good at French.
Wow, that's good.
And then I fell in love with cooking. I mean, I literally fell in love with it within minutes of being in Paris.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I love it.
And also, it wasn't a job; it was a passion. It wasn't about money because we had no money. You didn't get paid well, and you don't start cooking because you want to become rich and famous. I say to all my young girls and guys, get the knowledge, turn that knowledge into something unique. Spend that time studying. A doctor will read medicine for 10 years. A lawyer will read, bar school law for 15 years. It's the same as food.
All right, let's stop.
You need to study.
That is true. You can't stop learning with food, really.
That was interesting what he said about he learned the language so well. He even fooled the French people.
Yeah, that's impressive, isn't it? That's like some
Yeah.
FE going on there.
I
Low
know.
FE, Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, so this is interesting. Again, I have to kind of speak from my experiences, but I just referenced the ENTP earlier at the beginning, how in this way I see similar manifestations between ESTP and ENTP.
Yeah.
And then the ENTP that I had in my life a while ago. He was much older than me as a friend, but he was actually a spy for CIA, and they sent him to France, and he learned the language so well that they didn't know that he wasn't French. I know I've shared this story with
yeah.
you. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it just made me recall that. And then, of
Well,
course,
I think that's an FE advantage, isn't it?
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
Another
impersonation. All these impersonators, they're all FE types, aren't they?
Yes, and then there's another ENTP in my life. Same with the German language. So there is kind of this feel, I guess, for lack of a better word, impersonating of a language. You almost get into feeling like you're that nationality or whatever to create the language.
Yeah, and this is why low FE is not low. FE is FE.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
Remember, each video is not a comprehensive analysis. If you want to know more about a specific psychological type, check out the playlists where we have unique takes for each person.
Here are some suggested playlists for you to watch or other relevant videos.